Saturday Social, brought to you by EA Sports FC with PlayStation 5.
Right, we are going to be dissecting or debating the fortunes of all 20 Premier League clubs. Joe, do you want to explain how this is going to work?
Yeah, it's going to be very simple. We're going to pop up a statement or a question about every single club in the Premier League. There's going to be a 60-second timer. The guys are going to debate within that 60 seconds each side. We're going to start in alphabetical order with Arsenal. And I think big talking point is the goalkeeper situation there. So we're going to ask, will David Raya be Arsenal's number one? Nick, let's come to you straight away.
I mean, it's not confirmed yet anyway, that signing, by the way. What a signing that would be.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. Although he is brilliant, but Aaron Ramsdale, he's been so good for Arsenal. I don't think you're just going to get rid of him, right? I think Aaron Ramsdale would still start, dependent on how the season went. Then potentially there'd be room for David Raya to take over. But Aaron Ramsdale has to start, surely.
James, what do you think about this? I've heard a lot of ex-keepers be quite critical about having two number ones. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's up. You can spin it however you want to. You've got a lot of Champions League games as well for them, so it might be one that you look to give. West Ham did that. They've done it with like Fabianski and Areola. I feel like there will be a new pressure on Ramsdale as someone who's also a great personality, English as well. So I think that might make it hard for him. Or if he doubles down and he's brilliant, then it'll be David Raya again have to move on. I'm not. It feels a bit odd for me.
Perfect timing, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice problem to have though. Two top keepers.
Yeah.
We will move on to the next one.
Ramsdale's shirt to take as well right
good
now.
Point.
Isn't it?
Aston Villa is the next one. The question we're asking is: will Aston Villa win the Europa Conference League? Harry Pinero, what are your thoughts?
Big fan. I think yes, they can. I think I don't know if they will, but I know that they have the ability to do it. I think with West Ham, they proved that you don't have to be incredibly good to win it. You just need to, win your games. And I think with Aston Villa, they're a better team. And I think Unai Emery's got a lot of experience with those European trophies as well. So I think they'll be a very good outfit to win it.
Nicole?
100%. I actually agree. I think they are. I'm just going to go and say I think they're definitely going to win it. Yeah, I'm not going to sit on the fence, Harry. Yeah. Only because, like you said, Unai Emery, he's been unbelievable with what he's done at Aston Villa. I think he's made players like Tyrone Mings look so much better. I think they've got a good squad. Unai Emery, I mean, he loves winning European tournaments. It's his thing. I think he is going to be able to do it with this team. It will depend, though, I suppose, how much focus they put on that as opposed to maybe the Premier League. But I think they're going to go for it. And, I think they can do it for sure.
OK.
I think the fans will be happy with the Conference League in like a ninth place finish, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So let's see. Next up, we've got Bournemouth. And big news yesterday for the club. Alex Scott joining for £25 million. Is Alex Scott one to watch? Jimbo?
Absolutely. Is it this season? Maybe not. I saw him in his last competitive game, which was against QPR at the back end of last season. Ran it. Like, absolutely ran it. He will play for England. He's played a lot of the youth teams and he's shone as well. He can play in a few different positions. And I think for Bournemouth as well, in terms of central midfield, they've not got loads of sort of stardust in there. So it might be one where he kind of isn't the guaranteed starter this season, but next couple of seasons, he's going to be one hell of a player. Great side.
This Bournemouth side, they're exciting youngsters in there.
Yeah, and I mean, James nailed it on there. I mean, he's 19 years old, he's been playing England youth. He's so good. I think he's got a lot of potential, whether it might be a bit of pressure this season. He might need time to settle in, but I think absolutely one to watch, a really good talent, so it's exciting.
Exciting times. Right, let's move straight on then to our next one, which is Brentford. Obviously, huge talking point with this one, and we are asking how much will Brentford miss Ivan Toney? Of course, out until January 2024. Harry, what are your thoughts?
I think they'll miss him a lot. I think because he's been the highest goal scorer for a few seasons
21
now.
goals last season.
Yeah, he's an incredible finisher, been called up for England and stuff. But I do think that Brentford's team is very good. I don't think it's a team that will struggle that much. I think they're going to lose a lot of goals, but I think they'll still be in and around, just approaching top 10, I think they'll be in there. So I don't think it'll be that much of a miss.
Agreed, James?
Yeah, I think they'll be OK. I think there is a drop-off. You're losing 20 goals. Someone like Sade, I don't think scored in the Prem. Like, he will be trying to sort of get some of those. If he can get 10, Wissa gets a few more. I think Mbuemo's going to score a few more. And I think they're going to be a bit different this year. They haven't got that target. I think they'll be a bit more sort of progressive and a bit more open. I think they'll concede more. But I think they'll be absolutely fine. And he'll be back soon, won't he?
Wissa 7 goals last season, Mbuemo 9, Toney 21. So there's a big goal contribution from Toney, but they have got other goal scorers in there, so it'll be interesting to see how they...
And Thomas Frank's just one of the best coaches in the league, isn't he? So he's just going to find a way of making it work, isn't he? Talking of the best coaches in the league, let's go to Brighton.
Oh, great segue.
Where we should talk about the Europa League, really. Is it a blessing or a curse for them? What do we think, Nick?
Oh, I love Brighton. I love everything about them. I think the business that they do is incredible. They find these players, they make them so good, sell them for loads of money. The problem is they've lost. Well, we don't know what's happening with Caicedo yet, but they've lost. They're going to have lost 2 really key players for them. I worry that they won't have the depth to compete in the Premier League and also in Europe and do very well in both. I really like them. I want them to do well, but I think they might slightly struggle. Or you go for the Europa League and then you kind of maybe don't do so well in the Premier League. I don't think they've got enough quality to do everything.
The fans want a long journey in the Europa League, so that's quite difficult for them, because if you kind of took that away, the overall squad's really, really exciting, and you could have a go at top 4. Like, it's not out of the realms of possibility. So it is a bit of a curse from that point of view. But if you're a Brighton fan, which I wish I was, like, this is an amazing season for them, and they could go and win a European trophy. That's
what I will say about possible outgoings at Brighton, whatever happens, they will buy someone that no one's ever heard of for 1 minute. Will be the best player ever.
Yeah, sell them for 110 mil.
Yeah. Credit to their recruitment department. It is amazing. Yeah. Next up, Burnley. Question we're asking, of course, they did kick off the Premier League last night, lost to Man City, of course. But is Vincent Kompany the best up-and-coming manager in the league, Harry?
It's tough, because I think if we're judging it based off what he did in the Championship, then yeah, of course, because he's did incredibly well. Then also yesterday's game, they played really well. I know they're playing against the best team in the world, and they only lost 3-0 in that comparison. So I think the way he wants Burnley to play, if he can implement it, then of course, yes. I think the signs are there that he is going to be a top manager, especially with what he's done at Burnley.
James, you saw a lot of him last season in the Championship. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's always had a lot of ingredients to sort of help him. Like, Burnley had a lot to change, but had a lot of money to kind of do it. Yeah. Very impressive. He's very young for a manager in this league. I guess you've got him and Gary O'Neill.
37,
and the quality that, when it comes to managers in the Premier League, for him to even be there means he has to be one of the top guys. And I think he's got that kind of ability to be ruthless. He's got the soft skills. He's a very exciting manager.
I suppose, do we count Arteta? Do you know, like, he's not that much older, and he is right now.
Up and coming, though, is what it was.
Yeah, I know. I suppose so. Let's go to Chelsea up next then, and we're going to be talking about Pochettino here, winning a trophy, something he couldn't do at Tottenham Hotspur. Will he do it at Chelsea?
Why did you say that?
Enough Smithy Spurs bashing. Will Poch do it at Chelsea? I don't think so. Harry's saying he has to.
I think he has to.
I don't think he'll be able to. I still think, look how bad they were last season. They finished 12th last season. Yeah, they've got rid of half of the team. They've brought in some good signings. But I still think that they're going to need a period of time to kind of settle everyone in, work things out, because they were woeful last season. I just don't think it's going to happen this season.
I'm having that. I think with the amount of players that Chelsea have got, they're about to get Caicedo.
But look how many they had last season.
But they've got rid of so many players, and I think, look, they've had a great pre-season. With the amount of money, almost $1 billion spent, you have to win something, man. You have to. There has to be a return on investment. I'm sorry. So the pressure's on, and this is what football's about. It's about pressure. Can you handle it?
You've got to get to the end of a season as well as a Chelsea manager. That's part of it. You've got to get to the end of a competition.
Maybe that's the trophy.
That's true. That's the big thing people forget.
Do you think he will then? You said that.
I think you never know what's going to happen with Chelsea. They lose. Like, did we think Tuchel would not make the season, or Conte, or like? Things happen. It's the Premier League.
Top manager, yes or a no?
I think he will. I think he will. I think he will get to the end of the season. I don't think he'll win a trophy.
He's a top manager, Pochettino. I think he'll do well there. Next up, Crystal Palace. Will Crystal Palace struggle without Wilfried Zaha? James, what are your thoughts?
So Mateus França is a really exciting player. He's coming for quite a lot, 26 million.
Big fit.
I think he's injured actually at the moment, but he, if you go on YouTube and find the compilations of him, he is really, really exciting, and I think he will sort of fill that void a little bit. Wilfried Zaha was injured a lot last season as well, so I think they found a way around it. What I'm worried about more with Crystal Palace is the spine's good, first 11s are pretty good, but if you lose Elise, there's not much depth there at all. That's the big concern.
90 goals, 76 assists in 458 appearances for Palace, Zaha.
No, definitely he will be missed, but I think the future of Palace was kind of going away from Zaha, and it was Eze and Elise. So I think if Elise goes, I think that's the big miss. I think, like you said, Zaha didn't play that much games as well, but obviously a Palace legend, so of course they'll miss him for that reason. But it's more about the future, and them two players, Eze and Elise, if they can stay, then they've got a chance.
Yeah, back in the season, Eze under Roy Hodgson was just right.
I know these as well, both of them.
That. Let's go to Everton. Then, and tough summer so far, and the question we're asking is, will Everton face another relegation battle this season, Jimbo?
So my mate Baz from Toffee TV, he messaged me because I put them 17th, so staying up but in a relegation battle. And he went, "You've had a mare there, mate." And I was like, "Baz, this happens every year." He's saying 14th, and that's being conservative. He said.
The Everton fan.
Yes, Baz. And Baz knows his stuff.
Baz 4 times.
Yes, on Toffee TV. I plugged it enough. I think they'll be in and around it, but I think they'll be absolutely okay. I think they know who they are, what they are, and I think they'll be all right.
Do you think they've got enough goals in that team?
No.
I just don't think they're good enough at all, really. And also,
they're gone?
They're gone.
They're gone.
Gone.
Definitely going down for you.
I think, look, they've gone through one of the most, craziest saves of the relegation ever.
Yeah.
I think they can't do that again. And they haven't had a crazy transfer window where you can actually see, OK, this player's going to help them. When the push comes to shove, I think they're really going to struggle this season.
Big year
That's
for
my
DCL.
opinion.
Calvert-Lewin, it depends if he can stay
If he's injured, then it's
fit or,
OK, we're at the halfway point of the Premier League clubs. We go to Fulham next. A big talking point of the last couple of weeks, all about Alexander Mitrovic, who had an amazing season last season. Will Alexander Mitrovic leave Fulham this season, James?
I feel like he will. I mean, I know nothing. My sources say nothing. But I think he obviously wants to go. Yeah. I understand why he wants to go. I think there's one big reason for that, and I get it. I think he's a great player. I think he actually could be at one of those, 6-7 teams if he wanted to, because he can score goals. I think they'll come back in, I would imagine, and I expect him to go. Yeah,
Harry?
I agree. I think he's done his hours at Fulham. I think that. The suspension and then coming back to the end of the season, maybe that's played a part. And when the money's coming in like that, the way it's coming in, he probably will take that.
Nicole, looks like you don't agree here.
I think he wants to go, or it's seeming like he wants to go. He was obviously linked to Saudi, but all the talks coming out of Fulham is very much that he is staying, he's dedicated to staying. So I think conversations have been had. He must be staying, surely.
Yeah, Marco Silva recently actually says he's ready to play, and I'm 100% sure he is committed to us. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
Let's go to Liverpool then. Big question this. Have Liverpool upgraded their midfield? Harry? Have they?
Yes.
Yes.
They have.
Surely.
Szoboszlai, they've got McAllister. Yeah. I think obviously they wanted Caicedo. I think if we had Caicedo, then you'd say, OK, wow, this is basically Brighton plus another player. But I think, basically, you know what I mean?
Not a bad thing.
It's not. I mean, Brighton are basically one of the best teams in the league in terms of the way they play. But no, I think, yes, they have. I think, Henderson going as well. Henderson was probably approaching the end of his career as well. So they've got younger players who probably will become better as time goes on. So I would say yes.
100%. They needed to refresh the midfield there. I think the problem is that the Caicedo situation has now almost had a negative spin on it, because actually the signings they've brought in are really good. I think they could do with another 1 or 2.
They need a 6 though, don't they?
They need
so bad.
Yeah. And they lost depth as well.
I'd love to say that. I wanted Liverpool to get a right back so we could see Trent in midfield.
But I think we're going to see Trent when they play that box free.
Yeah, he'll drop in. I know.
I think we'll see him play multiple positions, Trent. Yeah. I think he'll play a bit of both.
Yeah.
A lot of games. But, we move on to Luton Town. New boys in the Premier League. A lot of people excited about Luton. We're saying, will Kenilworth Road be the best away day?
Yeah.
So I just finished a 24-hour challenge where I went to every Premier League ground. That's why I look this tired. And we went to Luton's ground. I was really excited because of Slightly Delirious. But it's so odd. Like in terms of what you see with these spaceships.
The away end near the houses and all that.
It will definitely get them some points. Interestingly, last year it was actually their away record that was better than their home record. But you put that stadium or ground into the Premier League, and I think it's going to be really good fun. Everyone will talk about it.
I mean, the capacity,
10,000,
just
right?
over 10,000.
300.
Yeah. They're having to do
dispensation.
so much refurbishment and works on it right now because they don't have the media facilities. They don't have the interview rooms that needed for the Premier League.
They don't have undersoil heating.
That's where they got the special dispensation.
That's exactly that. Special dispensation to be used without undersoil heating. Harry, you'll be there, won't you? Man United against Luton.
Yeah, I've got to go through someone's apartment to get to the stadium. But yeah, of course. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But be tough for them.
OK, let's go to the next side then. Manchester City, and this is a tough one, I think. Is it? I don't know.
No.
Will Man City go invincible this season?
Nicole's not happy with this one. She's not happy as an Arsenal fan.
Come on, Invincibles, yeah. You can't be throwing that out there lightly.
What was that? The impression?
Leave my Invincibles alone. That's what it is. Leave them
Is
alone.
that what I sound like?
No, of course
God,
not.
I need a voice transplant.
No, of course not.
No, I don't think they will. They are absolutely incredible. We know that Haaland is insane, all of that. But to go invincible is something else. I think that's going to be too difficult for them. they didn't do it last season. We've seen how good they are, but that is next level. I just don't think that they're going to be able to do that. It's too tough. It's too difficult to do that.
I think until it happens, I think Arsenal were the only team, and I think are the only team that's going to be able to do it. I think with City, with all the other competitions that they're going to be involved in as well, they will drop off in the league 1 or 2 games and then they'll just go on and run again. So I don't think it's not a surprise if it happens, but I just can't see it happening.
I think Chelsea are better. Liverpool are going to be better or more exciting. Man United are going to be better. Arsenal are going to be better. One of them will get a
And they have that record at Tottenham. Well, you laugh, but that's
true,
the game they haven't won
totally.
at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
He's trying to cling on to anything.
This is the real quiz. Right, next up, Manchester United. Lots to talk about Man United. I know you're very excited about the season ahead. Can Mason Mount rediscover his form at Man United? Top player, Mason Mount. Your thoughts on that, Harry?
I think 100%. I think with Mount, the way Ten Hag wants him to play, I've had a few words with him about what Ten Hag wants from him, Little name drop. Guys, just chill out. You know, me and United, I'm part of the fabric, just like my clothes. No, but honestly, I think with Mount, what he wants is to be a box-to-box and to give Bruno some freedom as well to be able to do what he does. And I think with Mount, you've seen in pre-season, he's a workhorse. And I think if the system that Ten Hag wants, if it works for Mount, it's going to be incredible for us to see.
I think we missed a word out on that, Grav. It should be his best form. Obviously, he's a top player, we know that. But can he get back to his best at United with that transfer?
So I had a look at his season. I think the best he's ever got is 11 goals.
Yeah, the season before last was 11 goals, 10 assists.
11 goals, 10 assists,
So, I mean, that would be amazing. He might not totally get those numbers.
He's going to be playing very high.
Yes, and I think him and Bruno Fernandes, I think, could get a lot of goals and assists this year. It'd be interesting to see who kind of is the one that gets in the box more. I think he'll have a really good influence there.
Good signing. You're excited about that, aren't you?
Very, very excited about that. As I am with quite a lot of Man United signings, actually. OK, let's go to Newcastle. They've been asking this question for a long time. Will Newcastle win a trophy this season? Last major silverware, 1955. Jimbo.
So Newcastle fans don't like me at the moment.
Why?
Because I've said that they're going to finish 8th, which I don't think is that harsh, right?
I think that's pretty harsh, in my opinion.
I think the Champions League will get in the way a little bit in terms of it being their focus. But I think they'll win the FA Cup this year because they have got a starting 11 that can beat absolutely anyone. And I think that they'll want that too. But they won't have that focus for the League Cup, so it's the FA Cup. They're going to win it.
Nick?
I think they could win a cup as well. They're not going to be winning the Champions League. They're not going to be winning the Premier League, let's be honest. I think they are a very good team now. 100% ones to watch. I don't think I'd have them down as 8th, but they might be spreading themselves too thinly. I think a cup run is definitely achievable. I'm not sure if they will win anything.
They're nightmares to beat in one-to-one games, though, Newcastle.
Well, we keep beating them in finals, so if we meet them in the final...
Done it.
FA Cup and League Cup.
Yeah, together. Nottingham Forest, next one. Great team to watch last season, but great atmosphere I always felt at City Ground. But will Forest suffer from second season syndrome? That's not easy to say. Harry?
I've got them gone.
Have you?
Yeah,
What?
I've got them gone.
HP!
Why?
You know
Come on, man.
Look, last season I just felt like it was very much towards the end of the season. It's like they survived. They really was suffering. It was like they're going to survive. And I think, like you said, all the big teams have got better. And I think so the other teams, Aston Villa's got better. Brentford, I think, are better than.
But some of the promoted sides haven't necessarily got better.
I think Burnley are staying. I think Burnley will stay up a bit, and then
Sheffield United, look at their fans, they're not happy.
Nicole, do you agree with Harry? Do you think they're going to get relegated, or do you disagree?
I don't think they'll get relegated. I don't think they are going to be great either. They obviously brought in so many players last season. I think this season, hopefully, it will all be a bit more settled. I just don't think they're good enough to do much, but I think they're OK. I think they'll be OK.
I think that's a really good point. I think Steve Cooper knows what he's kind of working with. You sort of got an identity with them by the end of the season. Gibbs White's going to be better. Brendan Johnson's going to be better. Alanga's in there as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Right,
I mean, let's continue the relegation chat with the next one then, because we've got Sheffield United, and that's just going to be, will Sheffield United stay up?
No. Absolutely not. I mean, I'm guessing they're in your... Well, maybe not. You're predicting everyone to get relegated, apparently. Sheffield United...
I think they will.
They're not good enough. They've sold their 2 best players.
I think, yeah, they're going to go under the radar. That's what I think.
No!
Watch out. Remember, when I say things, they happen.
What are you saying, Jimbo?
Yeah.
So, everyone was saying QPR going down, and so I wanted to believe something different, so I appreciate that. Because I think Sheffield United is a similar kind of thing. Because, in terms of 1 + 1 = 2, you've sold your 2 best players, you've not really replaced them yet. It doesn't feel good at all.
We've got to come to
honest.
Nicole because you're very animated about this one. You disagree firmly with Harry then.
Really, like massively. I think also selling your two best players. What are you looking to achieve then in the Premier League? Surely that's saying, OK, we're already giving up before the season's even started for them.
And Ndye's contract was running out, and he clearly wanted to go to a club that was going to be playing in European competition. Like Sander Berge,
But Sheffield United didn't want him to go.
It's a difficult situation though, but he wanted to go, didn't he? It's a difficult. It's a difficult.
I just think, what are their aspirations for this season? It feels like they are preparing for life back in the Championship.
And they've got financial issues as well. But let's move on. Let's move on.
OK, we're moving on to Tottenham. I don't know why Joe is looking at me
Let's not
laughing
continue the
off camera
relegation
there. And
chat.
Joe insisted in our meeting that I read this out because it says Harry Kane, Bundesliga title or breaking Alan Shearer's goal record. What would you rather, Harry?
Title. I think the
Bundesliga title.
Bundesliga, any title in any major top league. I think we, as players, I've never played the game, but I can only imagine that any player that plays the game wants to win trophies. I think the individual trophies, we all know that Harry Kane is arguably one of the best finishers ever. So that's something that we don't. A record doesn't need to confirm that. But the question will always be, why didn't you go and challenge yourself to win some trophies? And that's no disrespect to Tottenham. That's just the situation that Tottenham are in at this precise moment.
There was a lot of ex-pundits that were disagreeing with that, though. Jamie Carragher making the point that he's so close to the record and obviously could leave on a free next season.
Yeah.
It did split opinion, this, James. Where are you sitting on this?
It's a team sport, right? And it's about experiencing, having a great career.
It's like the Bundesliga, though, specifically.
But the Bundesliga is still... I think, look, he's really, truly, what he's dreaming of is going there and winning the Champions League, and he's got a massive chance to do that. I get the question. Look, if you said to him Bundesliga or League Cup for Tottenham, I think he would prefer the League Cup for Tottenham.
Yeah.
But the record, the Premier League record thing does my head in. Sorry. No, we haven't got time.
Only one person is the top of the Premier League record, though. How many people won the Bundesliga?
Yeah.
But I'm still not sure.
But not bitter. Not bitter at
Let's move
all.
on to West Ham. Let's keep going.
Harry.
Let's go to West Ham, where we're talking about how they're going to spend Declan Rice's transfer fee. It looks like they've already done it to a level.
Yeah.
What do we think about the Maguire potential signing?
Do you know what? Get Ward-Prowse, get Zuma, Agard, Maguire in a back three, Souček as well, and put a cross in. You are going to score some goals. I see the strategy. And Maguire, I think he'll do fine there. I think he was heavily disrespected a lot of the time when it came to Man United.
Yeah.
I think it became a thing. I think he'll do really well at West Ham.
Yeah, I think he'll do well as well.
You with me?
Yeah, I think with West Ham, I think how they've bought with the money that they've used from Declan Rice, I think is really, really smart. I think they understand that Declan Rice was, it was one in a lifetime. You're going to get a player that you're going to get that amount of money for. So to go and buy to go and buy Harry Maguire, potentially Scott McTominay as well. I think
they signed Alvarez as well.
Yeah,
Alvarez
I think after the transfer window, I think they
well.
would have done really, really well in terms of the money they've used.
OK, there we go. That completes West Ham, which leaves last but certainly not least, because this is done alphabetically, remember. Wolverhampton Wanderers. The question we're asking for our final question is, how will Gary O'Neill get on with Wolves? Nicole?
Not very well. I kind of feel sorry for him. Yeah, well, I think they're going down. I think Wolves are going down.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't think they are good enough at all. It's a bit of a mess, financial fair play. They're having issues with a lot of things there at the club at the moment. It just feels like they're a bit chaotic right now, and I just don't think they've got the quality either. So I think all in all, it's not looking good for them at all.
James?
He obviously has great sort of soft skills. I think he can galvanise. He did it with Bournemouth. Can he do it with this Wolves side? I think they've got some. I think their home games. It's either their home. Yeah, I think their home games are sort of easier ones, but the away games are really tough. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on those ones. But if they start well, I think he's that kind of manager that makes players feel a bit more empowered.
Still got
so that could
talent
help.
there.
There is talent there. I think Bournemouth have got a better squad now than them and a bit more pace, which Gary O'Neill really used last year. I'm worried about Wolves, I've got to be honest.